only give the best you got, and I hope with me that you for the top.
Hey guys, it's Chris Smoking TV here. Welcome back to another video. And today's video is today is a Scottish Championship prediction. Last time this year, Kyle. Back again.
I suppose this is the exciting part of the season before the season starts, where we make ourselves look like idiots as per usual.
We're in the media bit this time.
No pressure. Last time I was in this media bit was 3 days before Celtic beat Mon 5-0 in the Scottish Cup. And
Don't remind me of that.
I'm fairly certain Celtic won a treble that year, so no pressure on Celtic.
Before I start, I want to thank Mark Carey and other stuff for letting us use the inside the ground to film this prediction. So let's go on the way. Kyle, who's you got in 10?
I've gone for Airdrie. I think they've lost a couple of key players over the summer, losing Ben Wilson, who hit form I feel in December time. Mason Hancock, who's a big loss at the back. I know they've signed a couple of good players, but they got away with one last season, I felt, with Hamilton's points deduction, and I think I've just got a feeling they've not replaced their key players from last season.
The 10th I went for Airdrie as well. It's just the same, and they got that bomb scare player, McGinty, I call him. That's a poor signing, to be honest. I know he plays for us, but I think he is a bomb scare, and and I don't think defensively they're not great, to be honest. Like leaking goals as well. I know I don't know how they're getting on the cups. I've not been keeping an eye on them.
They beat Dundee. They actually looked quite good that game, to be honest. But ultimately, as I say, I think in the Premier Sport Cup, it kind of gives a false reading, I suppose, see, because it still feels like pre-season.
Who you got in 9th?
I went for Queen's Park.
What the reason?
I just feel like they've obviously lost Rodden in the summer. They had a shake end to last season, and I think there's a lot of uncertainty going on at the club just now, with them now playing at Lesser Hampden as well. Also, they've lost the main investor, has pulled their funding as well, so there's a lot.
I went for Queen's Park as well, just because they got a good manager, but I just feel the signings they're making are kind of weak. They got a good signing was it Aidan Connolly from Rave? I don't know who else they signed, but I can't remember who they signed, but they look like weak. Like a weakish team. I don't think they started off good in pre-season.
I was listening to a Scottish football preview the other day with the BBC, and the feeling I had with Queen's Park was they were in a bit of a mess. That was what I seemed to be gathering from the preview.
Who'd you win for 7th?
8th, do you mean?
8th.
God's sake, you're in pre-season already. Arbroath.
What was the reason why?
I think with Arbroath, I just get a feeling that this season, I think if they're going to stay up, I think their record at Gayfield's going to be key for them. I think they've signed a couple of good players as well. Craig Watson they've signed at the back in terms of experience, and I think they've got, as I say, I think overall they've got an experienced look to this.
They signed Harry Cochrane as well, I'm sure they did.
They did, Finlay Marshall as well from Aberdeen. They've kept a good chunk of that squad as well that got them promoted.
I went for Arbroath as well. I think they did the first time when they got promoted to the Championship, have a good season, but I don't think they will be as good as him, because they lost a couple of years ago the manager Dick Campbell. They lost quite a lot of Bobby Lind, that he's not at the club anymore. I don't know if he still plays. David Gold, I know he's the manager, but I don't know if he's a player manager or he's just retired.
I think he's just more focused on the management side of things.
So he kind of lost him if he doesn't play. So that's why I went for Arbroath. 7th now.
I went for Mon.
The reason?
They've done good with the Premier Sport Cup. I will be honest, I watched them the first time against Motherwell. They were unfortunate on Friday, on Tuesday night, so they were.
Penalty that we never got.
Wasn't it? It was a penalty, to be honest, but
I would have, to be fair, I would have changed the game. I would change the outcome of the game.
But seeing that way, I just feel the squad's too short just now with Mon, and I think as well there's a lack of experience at the back. I think they need an experienced centre half because a lot of the signs they
We've
have.
got long legs. He's experienced.
I know, but I'm just looking at the. I do think he'll play more left back personally from what I've gathered so far. But I just got a feeling that they've signed a lot of young players this summer. Chris Moore's joined the club. Sonny Hart's joined the club.
Your favourite EFL?
I can say a lot of people. I'm surprised I never mentioned that with Mason Hancock with Airdrie, but
I'm surprised you paying attention more because you know not been watching a lot of U-Balls and Poster.
see it. Well, that's the joys of the close season. I'm able to watch more other sports, and it's actually been quite nice to watch the darts, watch everything else, I suppose.
We actually seen U-Balls and Poster live at Hydro in February, so we did.
I'll not mention that one because he got absolutely hammered that night.
Who did I go for 7th? I went to family friendly. Good manager, but the players are kind of bringing in two good forward players to sign, but defensively I don't think they're that great. Seen them the last game of the season, I thought they were poor. Neil Lennon needs to bring in more experienced players into the squad. I think they will, and then they might be higher, but at the moment I'm sticking with the 7th. 6.
I went for Dunfermline. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, see for a manager of Neil Lennon's calibre, that he's actually kept a large chunk of the squad from last season.
I agree.
And they've signed Charlie Gilmore, so they have from Inverness. They've got a few good younger players there with Josh Cooper, who obviously I know very well, so I do from school as well, and I think he done well against Hearts when I watched them, and as I say, I'm kind of surprised there's not been a lot of, and I just get a feeling with Dunfermline. I've heard Neil Lennon talk as well over the close season about this long-term project, so I'm kind of surprised because he has been talking about that this club has got the ambitions to be in Europe in years to come, so I'm kind of surprised that he's looking now just to stabilise, I suppose.
And the 6th, who have you got?
I've just said my 6th place side, Dunfermline.
Oh, sorry, it's me. And 6th, I've got for this is probably I saw the finish in the playoffs last season, Ayr United. The reason I went for Ayr, they've got quite a good squad with a good manager. I don't think they're going to do Ayr. It's funny for me. I think they'll have one good season, then in the season after they kind of fell apart and struggle. Don't get me wrong, they're scoring goals at the moment in the Premier Sports Cup. They need us to do a favour on Sunday if we win that tomorrow, which will be a flog for that. Keep an eye on it. If Ayr wins, we probably guarantee, but we need Partick there as a favour as well tomorrow as well. So hopefully, that's why I went for 6 Ayr. Now 5th.
This might be a controversial one for me. Partick Thistle.
Why?
I don't know what it is. I think the club seems in a bit of a mess at the moment with a lot of the managerial uncertainty as well surrounding Brian Graham, surrounding what be him, what it be Dougie Emery, and ultimately it turned out to be near them and they went for Mark Wilson. They have signed a few younger players in the summer.
They've got one good experience, Tony Watt.
They've signed him, but in that way I don't know why. I think it will be hard to replace Brian Graham. I think
I'm on the same boat. 5th, I went for Partick. So Mark Wilson's a good manager, but I feel he should have been for an experienced manager, somebody that knows the league. Thankfully, Dougie Emery was rumoured for a Partick job. Thankfully, he stayed there with us. Hopefully, for another few years to come. But talking about Partick, they've got good players. They've got Crawford, they've got Tony Watt, Logan Chalmers, I think he's still there.
Yeah.
They have got good players, but I just feel they will do a good start, then they kind of fall apart, and they will be so jammy. Maybe I ain't coming into the season, but end up being the player. But I went for Partick. Uh,
4 for it.
4 for you.
I went for Raith Rovers.
Reason?
I think I was listening to that Scottish football preview thing I was talking about with the BBC the other day, and I actually think they've got a good squad, Raith Rovers. They've signed a couple of good players through the summer, been able to keep a good chunk of the squad that got them into they had a good end to last season. I think also with Raith, I would say as well, I know
They kept that in Easton.
they've signed a couple of good players as well. Gyro from the National League South from Boston, I'm sure it was. He seems a very attack-minded fullback, so who might be a good signing in terms of. I think he could fit into Barry Robson's back three if that's what he's planning on going for.
I went for, I'll tell you the reason why if I went for Raith. Fourth, I went for us, Morton. I know what you're saying. Where did you put Morton? Seventh. I put Morton fourth. I think I like the new way we played. I think I know the Tuesday was a disaster. As I said, we could have got up here and we would have changed the game, but we looked. I know we was against Stenhouse but we looked brilliant. We could have scored about 8, 6 chances we had. We're going forward a lot. We're not playing out the back as more as we did last season. We're getting players on the ball. We're getting players looking for. We signed a good goalkeeper, Stora. Chris Moore looks brilliant. Brilliant. I criticised him when we signed him. I don't know why. I didn't feel why the player we don't know. I think Mackay is a great signing now. Actually, I thought he came on against St Moore. I thought he was brilliant. Played well on Tuesday. Didn't cost him a. They signed that. Who did we sign on Tuesday? Robertson. We had a brilliant premier, so that's why I went for Morton and fourth.
Right, we're third now.
Third, who are you going for?
I've gone for Egg.
Reason?
I think they've made a couple of good signings through the summer as well. They've been able to keep a nucleus of that squad as well. I know they had a rather poor end to last season, but I think it can happen, to be honest. They've been able to keep a good. I think they've made good use of the partnership with Celtic that they agreed over the summer. They've got Jude Bonner in, who I've managed to see last season play a couple of minutes against Aberdeen in the.
It's not announced, but Kyle Ewer's joining as well.
Yeah,
they just beat Partick to him.
I've seen that. I was actually watched him a bit in pre-season for Celtic, and actually think he could be a good addition to the squad as well. They've made a couple of. I also think as well it's actually going to be. I think last season Anton Dowds was out for a big chunk of last season with.
Is he back yet?
And I think once he's back, he'll kind of.
He's not back yet.
He's not back yet.
For third, I went for Raith, and I was telling the reason why I went for Raith. I think they do well, but the big problem is goalkeeping. I don't rate that Ray, and I don't know why they got rid of Kevin Dabrowski. That's the kind of reason why. And they lost a big chunk of the squad as well. They lost Connolly to Queen's Park. They lost Gullen to St Johnstone. That was a decent. They should have kept him to be fair. They kept Lewis Wong. They kept Dylan Easton. That's a big part of the Raith development, keeping Easton, because he was rumoured to go to their rivals Dunfermline. So
I was going to say on Raith Rovers as well. I was reading yesterday that there was rumours with Darragh O'Connor.
I heard that as well.
Because I did see something that they were going to also utilise this talk of a partnership with Rangers in terms of more loan players. So if they can even utilise that market quite well, because I know there's how that lot that is. Like, I think Barry Robson's working with quite a small squad this season. It seems like from what I was gathering.
Is that 2 new signings on the pitch? Holy joking. In second place, we probably go for the same 2. It's first and second. Who do you win for second?
I went for St Johnstone.
Reason?
I think from January onwards that you can see glimpses of the identity Valkyrie was trying to impose on the squad, but it was just ultimately it wasn't enough. I think they were let down by poor recruitment last season, and Valakari almost was left with a mess to deal with. I know they've made a couple of good signings in the window of Jack Baird, Morgan Boyce. Louis Lloyd's also joined, one of the top goals. Louis Lloyd, top goal scorer in Wales. But one thing I will say about St Johnstone is I was having a look at it. They've been going a 4-2-3-1, but they've got 5 strikers, which is a bit too stacked for my liking, to be honest.
I went for St Johnstone as well, and that's exactly the same reason I went for. Who do you got for top?
I've gone for Ross County.
Same.
I think in terms of the squad they've got, I mean, some of the signings they've made, I think even getting Doherty and getting Gallagher, I have 2 players personally, if I was Dundee United, I wouldn't have let go of personally, and I think even other signings like Aaron Lyles.
So I was going to say, Morton should have kept it, should have kept it, Aaron Lyle.
Even signing Nicky Clark as well, it's like signings that I think that would be good enough to keep them in the...
Kept Rowan Wheel, because apparently he was averse leaving as well.
Something I will say is I'm absolutely astonished that one of the top clubs in the Premiership, because I definitely think, I'm looking at the likes of an Aberdeen, for example, who have just lost Kevin Nisbet. I'm absolutely astonished that they've not gone for a Ronan Hale, because I think he would be guaranteed. I think in a better side he can get 20 plus goals in a Premiership side.
I don't know how many goals he got last season.
12.
I thought you had more than that, so you know your football more than me. So that's our Scottish 2025-26 season, and we'll see you in end of May for a reaction to the video. So thanks. Anything to add?
No, just here to another exciting Scottish football season, I suppose.
And so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, and that's tomorrow, match day vlog. Will Kyle up here, would you?
Yeah, should do.
Right, so thank you a lot, and goodbye.
Oh, you've not finished.